My name is Patty Pennick, and I am the Assistant Director and Head of Youth Services here at the Goffstown Public Library. One of my most favorite things to do in my job is to select books for children. And about a week ago, I placed a pretty significant order of Halloween-themed picture books. And if you did not know this in Goffstown, and I can attest to this as the children's librarian, Halloween is a hot, hot holiday in this town. And so I approach my selection of books for this holiday very seriously. I'm happy to report all of the books that I ordered seem to be very engaging and fun. However, 3 of them rose to the top, and those are the 3 I'm going to share with you. Some of you might be familiar with the picture book Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. This is Chicka Chicka Trick-or-Treat. So it is the Halloween trick-or-treat version of Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Very fun. The letters of the alphabet are all back to have some Halloween and ghoulish fun. So if you like Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, you will definitely like the trick-or-treat version. So that's number 1. Number 2, Creepy Sheepy. To be honest, I just think Creepy Sheepy is fun to say, and I love the picture of the sheep on the front cover. But the story itself is one that will appeal, I believe, to both children and their caregivers. The scene is set as a few weeks before the holiday, and Little Sheep goes out with his family or her family to the store to select a Halloween costume. Sheep selects a costume that his family says, "Are you sure you want to pick this one? Everyone's going to pick this costume this year." The sheep insists that this is the costume he wants. However, he has a little revelation when he goes out trick-or-treating and sees so many others looking just like him. His individuality kind of pops back out near the end of the story, and he changes his tune into another costume. So Creepy Sheepy is a fun story with a good lesson in it about individuality. And then last but not least, I'm also a huge fan of fractured fairy tales. If you're not familiar with that term, a fractured fairy tale is essentially a story based on a traditional fairy tale with some twists and turns. And this one is no different. It's a fractured Halloween fairy tale. It's called Goldilocks and the 3 Ghosts. And there's some lots of fun and vivid art to kind of work through. And what I really love is just the play on the traditional Goldilocks and the 3 Bears fairy tale, talking about instead of 3 bowls of porridge, there are 3 bowls of goulash, yep. And what else? When the 3 ghosts get home and they find Goldilocks in their bed, they're concerned that she's a mummy trying to steal their sheets. So there's lots of fun, all based on that original classic fairy tale, and I enjoyed it. I hope you will too. So next time you're here at the library, please stop in and check out all of our new Halloween tales for kids.
Hi, Natalie here. I'm the Tech Services Librarian at Goffstown, and today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. There's a loose theme, but not really a strict theme speaking. So let's see. We've got Louise Penny's The Gray Wolf, which some of you may have read. This is one of the books in her Inspector Gamache series. I have only read the first couple books in that series, but she has a brand new one coming out October 28th, and that is called The Black Wolf. And I'm talking about this one that comes right before it today because she typically doesn't carry so much plot through from one to the next that you have to read them in order. But what we've heard from the publisher is that Black Wolf is going to very closely come on the tails of Grey Wolf, with a lot of the storylines being pulled in. So you'll want to read this first before you read Black Wolf, if you haven't already. And we actually have 3 copies of this here, and we are ordering at least 2 copies of Black Wolf. So there should be plenty to go around. All right, so that's sort of a cozy-ish mystery, the Inspector Gamache series. So sticking with like a cozy, weather's getting cooler, kind of fall theme, I picked this to talk about 50 knitted wraps and shawls. So my mom made me a gorgeous shawl. She knit it a while ago, gave it to me for Christmas, and I wish I was wearing it today. But anyway, a lot of the shawls in here remind me of the one that she made for me, and they're just so pretty. I love the yarn that they use and the different patterns. This was my other favorite. It's like a honeycomb pattern. And the level, they've got patterns ranging from very basic to very advanced. So there's something for everyone in this book. And it's only one of many, many books we have in our knitting and crocheting section. So there's that. And then there's this book, which is an older book, but I love it. It's called Our Own Snug Fireside, and this is about New England homes, specifically like kitchens and parlors in the 17 and 1800s. And so it talks about like colonial times and customs and what the kitchens looked like. Everybody cooked over fire and had these big kettles and the hooks that the kettles went on that sort of spun around different spots in the fire. There's a kettle. My mom actually has a kettle very much like this. We call it the cauldron. It doesn't have feet, but it's big, and we have fires in it outside, and it's really, really cool. It's cast iron. And then I wanted to see, probably some of you may not know what this is. Some of you may know, but this is a shower. So showers, and you can still buy them, but they used to be like, they used to have like a little, what do you want to say, like a container on the bottom that held the water, and the container had little feet on it, and then there was just this shower head at the top, and the curtain would go all the way around, so it was like a circle shower, and I think they're pretty cool. You can still buy them, and sometimes you see them in really, really old houses. But yeah, this is a cool book. There's some great pictures and fun information in here, and it's just kind of a cozy vibe. And then the last one I have is New England desserts. So this has desserts for every season, and fall's desserts look particularly delicious because, as you know, we've got apples coming very, very soon. So we're gonna be wanting to make our crisps and our pies and our galettes fancy. Yeah, so this just made me so hungry. And then skipping ahead a little bit to Thanksgiving, like, oh my God, don't you want that right now? Pumpkin pie, so good. So yeah, oh, and there's raspberry pandowdy, apple cider donuts. Oh my goodness, so, so good. Pumpkin whoopie pies? Yes, please. All right, so get your cozy fall on, and happy September.
Hi, everybody. We had a very busy summer. As we usually do, it's the busiest time of year for public libraries. And this year, we had our library hop event. This was in conjunction with the other public libraries in our GMILKS consortium. Every library had a challenge that had to be completed for a stamp or a sticker or something. Our challenge was to find Mr. Butterfield. And Jennifer's here to tell you who Mr. Butterfield was.
So Mr. Butterfield was born in 1816, and he passed away actually, unfortunately, before the library was built. So he doesn't know he's here. And he held positions of trust around Goffstown. He was in the lumber business. He served in the legislature, and he was just a generally well-known person of Goffstown. And so he has been in this honored spot here on our wall, and library hoppers have been looking for him all summer. He's been called Mr. Butterfly, Mr. Butterfingers, Mr. Butterworth. But if you came to our library, we are happy you came. Thank you so much for coming out and for finding Mr. Butterfield.
Thanks for watching. Stay in the know. You can subscribe to the library's monthly email newsletters at goffstownlibrary.com/subscribe, and you can unsubscribe at any time.